Welcome back. Though the WNBA season ended a few months ago, Caitlin Clark is still bringing in accolades. The WNBA's Rookie of the Year and former Iowa Hawkeye was named to the 2025 Forbes Sports 30 Under 30 list at just 22 years old. Clark is the sole representative of the WNBA on the list.
We're going to find out what happens when a rookie earns every WNBA veteran. Hold on to your shirts, though, because Caitlin Clark just took home $1.1 million this year, making her the league's highest earner. That is only a small portion of her total WNBA income.
So, Caitlin Clark just made a serious amount of money. We did not realize just how much money Caitlin Clark had made from brand deals. And all in all, it is a crazy amount. And it's so much that Caitlin Clark is in the top 10 highest paid female athletes in the world while playing basketball.
You would think that the league would be rejoicing now, but they're not. Wait till you hear how Clark is handling the jealousy. Some WNBA players are seeing green, and it's not only the color of money. These veterans are also talking about it. Her most recent action is characteristic of Caitlin Clark. It has the potential to be groundbreaking for all WNBA players, not just clever.
That's not something that happens. You might be saying, she's top 5, she's top 10, who's number 1? Is it A'ja Wilson number 1? I mean, if A'ja Wilson was asked about this, and these are not accurate numbers, Caitlin Clark is making 11 million, so A'ja Wilson's making 12. But she's the only basketball player in the top 10.
You might be thinking, oh, she's in the top 5, she's in the top 10 like there should be, but that doesn't actually happen.
I just come out here and try to, play basketball in a way that people love watching, in a way that is going to make my team successful, and the records and whatever, or the stats, that's just what comes with it.
Imagine this. When a young, fresh-faced rookie takes the WNBA court, the entire league suddenly spins on its axis. That's exactly what happened when Caitlin Clark made her professional debut, and the excitement among the spectators was palpable from the moment she put on her sneakers. Social media and arenas exploded, and all eyes were on women's basketball. However, not all of the crowds were excited, as some veteran players viewed Clark with suspicion. Could this newcomer truly live up to the hype? Clark's response was to let her game speak for itself, and boy did it speak volumes. In her first season alone, she broke an incredible 62 records. That's not a typo, from assists to scoring. The WNBA record books were rewritten by Clark more quickly, as you could say, three-pointer.
Forbes says Clark was chosen for leading the Indiana Fever to their first playoff appearance in 8 years, while breaking the WNBA single-season assist record and earning Rookie of the Year honors. But wait, there's more. She also led the WNBA All-Star Game voting with more than 700,000 ballots and has been credited with an increase in league viewership and attendance.
However, Clark's influence went beyond what transpired in between the baselines. The true surprise was when WNBA viewership for games starring Clark surged by 300% on TV. Take a time to process that in a world where people's attention spans are getting shorter. Clark increased the amount of people watching women's basketball by thrice.
New information has been revealed about the young superstar Caitlin Clark being responsible for a whole lot of revenue in the WNBA.
Now, you may be wondering what the bottom line will mean with all of this excitement and these shattered records. Well, be ready for a term you'll hear a lot about. Clarksonomics. Try this on for size. Dr. Ryan Brewer, an expert who crunched the data, stated it best. The numbers are so astounding that they don't even seem genuine. The NBA's entire economic activity is attributed to Caitlin Clark, a rookie just out of college who is driving over a quarter of the league's economy. This is unprecedented, but the truth is that we're only beginning to understand Clark's impact. Even though she's breaking records and increasing ratings, there's another set of numbers that will astound you. Let's discuss money.
Other WNBA superstars and responsible for the bang that they have been occurring. We've been hearing superstars like A'ja Wilson saying that she's been playing a role. Other superstars like Angel says she's been playing a role. Well, one thing I will tell you guys, men lie, women lie, and numbers definitely do not lie.
Think earning more than 25% of a professional league's total revenue, and then think that your pay is less than what some individuals spend annually on coffee. Welcome to Caitlin Clark's strange financial universe, where nothing quite adds up as you might anticipate.
She just made Sportico's list of the top 10 highest paid female athletes in the world for 2024. Of course, almost all of that from endorsements, where she reportedly made about $11 million.
Let's dissect it. Clark's $76,500 rookie pay over 4 years with the Indiana Fever is insignificant in comparison to the money she brings in for the league. But this is where things start to get interesting. In fact, Clark ranks as the 10th most paid female athlete in 2024. The way two-word endorsements work, Clark's overall revenue for the year was $1.1 million, which is a 145-fold increase over her WNBA contract. The majority of this money came from endorsements, which account for almost 95% of her earnings.
Trying to figure out where it actually should be, what her actual worth is a hell of an experiment, because when you're talking about just bringing eyeballs and raising a game, she should be the highest paid. Maybe male, female, or whatever, right up there. At least damn near the top of them.
Are you prepared for these figures? Clark's partnership with Nike is the crown jewel in her endorsement portfolio. $28 million spread over 8 years, or $3.5 million a year, is about 46 times her WNBA pay. Some claim Nike even gave her a significant discount, but they're not the only company. In addition, Clark has partnerships with Buick, Wilson Panini, Gatorade, and State Farm. This significant discrepancy between Clark's on-court and off-court earnings brings to light a significant problem with the WNBA, which has a stringent pay cap and only devotes 99.33% of its revenue to player compensation, in contrast to the NBA, where players receive 50% of the revenue.
Clark and the Fever were worth almost 50% of the league's broadcast value last season, which checks with what we saw from the ratings and everything. We know about the attendance, what we know about the attention, all of those things.
The only WNBA player to be named in Forbes 30 Under 30 list, Clark's financial success is drawing attention and is evidence of her influence, both on and off the court. However, the real question is whether Clark's success will trigger changes in the WNBA. Her extraordinary influence may affect future player compensation negotiations. After all, it's difficult to defend such a low salary cap when one rookie is responsible for more than 25% of the league's economic activity.
I see are the B's that are being dramatic about Caitlin Clark. That's all I see. They try so long to get respect for women's basketball, and then they treat it like a junior high school girl's locker room. Junior high school girl antics on the court. Instead of playing the game, they got to be drama because they're jealous. Instead of letting their skills speak for themselves, they got to be drama because they're jealous.
It's crucial to keep in mind that Clark is an anomaly as we marvel at her earning potential. Not everyone is excited about Clark's quick ascent. In fact, some of her teammates are seeing green, and it's not just the color of money. If you've watched this far and are enjoying the video, please remember to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. We understand that watching this video takes up some of your time, and we appreciate it. Now, let's get back to the action.
If Caitlin Clark is the vehicle that will bring this sport that I have loved so much and so long to little 5-year-old girls playing in Harlem, I say yes, bravo.
Yes.
I have no problem with that. I do think that there is a thing called pretty privilege.
In addition to smashing records, Caitlin Clark has been breaking something else: the delicate egos of certain NBA veterans. But here's the twist: their trivial outbursts are actually increasing Clark's popularity. How did the league's newest Golden Girl turn become both its most valuable asset and its most divisive figure?
The idea of some players being jealous, yes, that probably exists. Okay. To me, yeah, jealous, sure. I mean, would you be jealous of somebody that got $28 million a shoe deal or whatever the deal is before you step foot in the pros?
It's no secret that Clark's WNBA debut created quite a stir, but not all of the players in the locker room were ecstatic. Some veteran players began to look at Clark with a mixture of skepticism and, let's face it, a healthy dose of jealousy. Can you blame them? This rookie is suddenly taking center stage and landing endorsement deals everywhere.
A'ja Wilson is the queen of the delusion. She's absolutely the queen of the delusion.
It became impossible to ignore the strain. In interviews, whispers in the locker room evolved into less subtle jabs. Some players began to wonder if Clark could truly live up to the hype, while others bemoaned the attention she was receiving and claimed that established stars weren't getting their due. They said it was like high school again, but with million-dollar contracts on the line. In fact, A'ja Wilson, the current league MVP, recently attempted to outdo Clark by leaking that he had received a better offer.
That's crazy because literally nobody asked, and sources close to A'ja Wilson decided to answer anyway.
Recall the time that Wilson and Clark turned down offers from the new, unmatched 3-on-3 basketball league. Wilson's camp swiftly revealed that her offer was even greater than Clark's, despite her justifications being much more generic. One fan nailed it. You could have just said no and kept it moving. Clark's decision was supported by well-documented reasons, including her preference to focus on self-care after a demanding year and her desire to avoid playing during the off-season.
What little girl wants to grow up and play in a league where you're targeted like that? How do you sit here and profess and demand that everyone take women's sports seriously when you can't even take it seriously enough to not act like a junior high queen on the court? It's stupid. That's so dumb. It looks like a soap opera.
This is where things start to get interesting, but the fans aren't having any of this drama. Social media has been ablaze with people supporting Clark, and one fan put it this way: keep being jealous, WNBA ladies. Rather than making people dislike Clark, the backlash is actually making her even more well-liked, as fans adore her underdog tale and her grace under pressure.
The more people can get out and watch the W or watch the college game or whatever it is, the better it's going to be for the future of the game.
Speaking of grace, Clark is handling everything like a pro. Rather than reacting or becoming embroiled in the drama, she's keeping her head down and concentrating on her game. She is all about encouraging the league and her teammates, which is a wise move that is gaining her even more admirers and stifling her detractors.
The amount of people that have showed up in the stadiums, from the viewership numbers to people really wanting to wear a WNBA player's jersey or buy their merch or whatever it is, or have their shoe, just how it's evolved in such a short period of time, I think shows everyone, there is real opportunity here, and there has been opportunity here.
However, Clark's influence extends beyond her victory in a popularity contest. Her success is compelling the WNBA to examine its operations closely. The Players Association has already chosen to withdraw from the current collective bargaining agreement, citing issues with equitable revenue sharing. One thing is certain: Caitlin Clark is a superstar sensation who is not only revolutionizing the game on the court, but also rewriting the entire playbook for what it means to be a professional women's basketball player. That may be her biggest victory to date. Clark is also upending the entire business model of women's basketball.
Here's all you need to know about Caitlin Clark. When we would go to away games, they always sold out. Unbelievable. So Atlanta would normally have 3,000, 4,000 people. Now they have 17,000 people, and they sold 1,000 standing room only tickets. So when we walked into the arena, people were on that third balcony looking down at the tops of our players' heads to watch. It's really hard to take in. After a few away games and all of the sellouts, Caitlin asked the WNBA if they would pay spot bonuses to the away team.
Rewriting the playbook is more than just a metaphor for Caitlin Clark. She is advocating a drastic change that could completely alter the WNBA's financial structure. What if a rookie could completely alter a professional sports league? That is precisely what is happening with Caitlin Clark. She is not satisfied with simply setting records on the court. Rather, she has a much larger goal in mind: using her success to encourage all WNBA players. It's a vision as audacious as her three-point shots, but this is where things start to get really interesting. Clark's most recent proposal is drawing attention and raising eyebrows throughout the league. Are you prepared for this? She wants the WNBA to give her rivals more money.
She said, wow, we're making all this new revenue, and I would like the away team to benefit from that. Could they get a spot bonus? So that's the heart of Caitlin Clark. I mean, that's a classy, amazing person.
Yes, you heard correctly. Despite some WNBA veterans' cold reception, Clark is suggesting that the opposition team should receive a bonus when the Indiana Fever visit town because her star power is drawing more fans and viewers to the game. Clark is dedicated to encouraging everyone in the league by discussing class and grace.
What Caitlin Clark has done for the game is generational, and I just, as a baller to a baller, I just want to say thank you to you, Caitlin Clark.
Absolutely.
For just lifting our game up, you and so many great players. But what you're doing, you're going to make all these women multimillionaires one day, like Tiger did, like Michael Jordan did. And we shouldn't hate on her. We should celebrate her, not tolerate her.
In comparison to the NBA, where players receive 50% of the money, the WNBA's present economic model allocates less than 10% of league revenues to player compensation, which is pitiful. In 2024, the WNBA was expected to generate $200 million in total revenue. Less than $20 million was distributed among all of the players, as you can see by doing the math. It makes sense that some veterans are a little miffed about Clark's endorsement deals, but if the league implements her ideas, we could witness a significant change in player compensation. Can you picture a world in which WNBA players receive salaries commensurate with their contributions to the game? It's not just about fair pay. It's about appreciating the value these athletes bring to the sport.
Caitlin's light shines, it shines on all of you. And I try to remind our team of that all the time. Yeah, we're going to enjoy that light and it helps all of us.
The key question at this point is how the WNBA will react to Clark's influence. Will they embrace this opportunity for change or continue using their outdated playbook? The players are definitely not waiting around to learn that the WNBA Players Association has already taken a decisive action by choosing to withdraw from the existing collective bargaining agreement. Instead, they're sending a strong message. It's time for a larger share of the pie, and guess what? Clark's influence is a major factor in her popularity and marketability, which highlights the value that WNBA players bring to the table. Experts predict that the league's financial structures may need to undergo a significant overhaul to keep up with the Caitlin Clark effect. She is not only changing the game, she is also revolutionizing the women's basketball industry. The real question now is whether the WNBA will accept this change or oppose it. There is no doubt that women's basketball will never have the same future. With an impact that goes well beyond the basketball court, Caitlin Clark is revolutionizing women's sports. Her unquestionable impact on the WNBA's financial landscape has forced a reassessment of how female athletes are valued and compensated, and the league is currently faced with a crucial decision. Accept this moment of change or hold on to the status quo. The WNBA is at a crossroads, with the option to ride this wave of change or risk falling behind as women's basketball enters a new era. Executives and seasoned players alike are struggling with the new possibilities her success has unveiled. Clark's extraordinary economic contributions have sent shockwaves through the industry. There is no doubt that Clark's influence will last for years to come. Her accomplishments have shattered preconceived notions about the possibilities of women's sports and opened opportunities. The way the WNBA handles this moment and the chance to create a more dynamic and equitable future for all of its players will determine how the league develops in the future. What are your thoughts? Please subscribe and turn on all notifications in the comment section so that you don't miss anything. We'll see you in the next one after you click the video on the screen.